Representative Alexandria Financially Unawario Clueless and Senate Majority Garbage Merchant Chuck Schumer released a $2 billion FEMA Corona Clap relief spend everybody else's money bill yesterday, and as I'm sure you can imagine, it was sick. And even though I can totally empathize with their logic and the fact that Chuck Schumer said that people who can't afford a proper burial and funeral, it's awful and inhumane, I can think of lots of other things in America that are awful and inhumane, and I don't necessarily understand how Americans' taxpayer dollars are supposed to go to pay for funeral expenses. I don't understand how that is a thing. Why is that? I get it, that's sad and that's really unfortunate, but why? There's something to the tune of 35 million people in the United States that struggle with hunger every day, human beings that are currently alive, including children, yet this money is supposed to go towards funeral expenses and people that have already died. Like, I get it, and I can understand how somebody's gonna look at them, wow, you're so inhumane. I get all that, but taxpayer dollar, why? I don't understand how that's the responsibility of the federal government to dole out that money, though. But the real reason that I bring this issue up is because you can apply for this $7,000 taxpayer-funded relief even if you are an undocumented immigrant, which means that you could illegally migrate to the United States. You and your family members could skip the line of all of the other people that have legally applied to immigrate here. You could just break the law, immigrate here for free, skirt paying taxes, meaning that you live off all the rest of the taxpayers' money. You could live for free and bask in all of the other benefits that come along with that. And then if a family member dies because of the Corona Clap, we're all going to subsidize you getting paid a $7,000 check for that. Okay. Meanwhile, Joey Basement has halted the border wall construction, which also means that you could just quite literally walk across the border with your family illegally, not pay taxes, have somebody die here, and then collect a $7,000 check for it. Okay. Now, I'm not suggesting that people are just like, yo, let's walk over there and die real quick. But I'm saying I don't understand how it's the taxpayer's responsibility to pay these expenses. Meanwhile, it is a requirement now under the Joey Dumpster Fire Weekend at Bernie's Clueless Corrupt-a-Beans administration that you test negatively for the Corona Clap if you fly into the United States. Yet by stopping the border wall and basically opening up for people to just quite literally walk over the border with no test, it's just saying, yeah, if you want to just stroll in illegally, no big deal, don't worry about it. But if you pay money and follow the legal way of doing it, yeah, you have to have a negative test. Dope. Good job, Joe. Meanwhile, because who cares about America, let's burn this mother down, the Joey Basement administration came out yesterday and said that deportations of illegal immigrants convicted of crimes like fraud, money laundering, and driving under the influence will soon be curbed by their administration. Awesome! Press Secretary Jen Circlebacky confirmed that the Department of Homeland Security would release new guidelines directing U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, to shift their focus away from illegal immigrants collared for crimes including DUI, tax fraud, assault, drug offenses, and solicitation. Cool. Hey, come on over, guys. The border wall's open. Just stroll on over, commit tax fraud, assault somebody, get a DUI, and do a little bit of solicitation and then grab some drugs, and you're good. Don't worry about it. Meanwhile, because who cares about anything, the Joseph Garbinet Marionette Garbanzo administration is seeking to offer a pathway to citizenship for 11 million undocumented immigrants. Cool. I wonder if this creates any moral hazard of any kind. I wonder if this sets the precedent for what it takes to get into the U.S. Imagine being a person that's just trying to migrate here illegally. After seeing all this, you're like, oh, cool, that's fine. Oh, you know what else you can do? Oh yeah, I forgot. You can get the taxpayer funded Corona Clap juice as well, even if you're an undocumented immigrant. So walk over the border illegally, don't pay taxes, commit tax fraud, have a simple assault, grab some drugs, do a little bit of solicitation, NBD, then go get some Corona Clap juice, and just in case your family member dies, we'll write you a check for $7,000, dope. I swear, sometimes I wonder if AOC just wakes up in the morning and is like, how could I ruin America today? It's like sort of like nearly every single thing that this woman comes out with or says is just terrible. It's like the most destructive and backwards opposite of just every possible thing you could pretty much ever want ever. Every single thing, it's like morality, empathy, sympathy. We have to cut a check, cut a check, cut a check, pay him off, pay him off, pay him off, write him a check, cut him a check. They need this. They deserve this. It's our duty. That's disgusting. Disgusting. Everybody needs a check. Pay everyone. Relief. We need relief. It's like, dog, do you even understand how finances work? Like, you even understand what the responsibility of the federal government even is, dude? Like, what are you doing? And if you question it, if you dare question it, reasons, xenophobic, sexist, reasons, xenophobic, what insurrection is like, okay, cool. You can't even disagree. It's like, even just talking about this, I'm like, God, Jays, I'm gonna get clapped. Meanwhile, after she quite literally point blank said on Twitter that Ted Cruz tried to get her killed. Like, literally, she goes, Ted Cruz, like, you tried to get me murdered last week. A reporter comes up to her, I think yesterday, and goes, he's like, what do you think about your statement when you said that Ted Cruz tried to have you murdered? And she's like, I didn't say that. It's like, dog, we have the internet. That's exactly what you said. Like, literally the tweet's still up, but okay. She's like, I didn't say that. It's like, okay. I will read it. I am happy to work with Republicans on this issue where there's common ground, but you almost had me murdered 3 weeks ago, so you could sit this one out. Responding to Ted Cruz. The tweet's still up. And the reporter's like, are you planning to apologize for the tweet about Ted Cruz almost having you murdered? She literally goes, that's not the quote, and I will not apologize for what I said. Oh, okay. And if you were paying attention last week, you heard her harrowing story about how she was in the, someone was at the door. Like, okay, you guys all know the details of that. And again, for fear of retribution, I'm not going to comment on the matter. But like, we all saw that story. We all saw where her office is located. We all saw what people on her floor in the same exact hallway said about what actually happened. But whatever, Jake Tapper, king of truth, and all these other people are just like, just ignoring it. No big deal. Yeah, who cares about the truth? Who cares about what really happened? Just emotion. I am so woke, it doesn't matter what I say. Okay. And meanwhile, because everything is trash and the world is garbage, the political theater continues as people like AOC and all of her colleagues are just fear-mongering that they're just fearing for their life while they're in the Capitol. And of course, what did that mean? What did that mean? What does that mean? What do they do? Let's see. I don't know. Virtue signal, perhaps. That's what they like to do. So naturally, Nancy Pelosi, the swamp monster of San Francisco, the massless garbage merchant at the top of the trash heap, puts in metal detectors in the Capitol after the 6th. And she says that any Congress people that skip around these metal detectors have to pay a $5,000 fine, of which they've already issued several. But everything is rules for thee, but not for Nancy. John Kerry. I just wanted to throw that in. So several members of Congress spotted Pelosi, the swamp monster, skirting around the metal detectors herself, the ones that she put in. Rules for thee, but not for Nance. She didn't even make it 1 month, dope. Yo, these people are disgusting, and they just love just dumping on every single thing America has that's good. It's a trash fire over there. This is nothing more than political theater. They can't follow their own rules. Their solution to every single thing imaginable is pay it off, pay it out, write a check, morality, they deserve it. Spending yours and mine and all of our taxpayer dollars on all of their ultra woke programs while we're already in an untenable mountain of debt. They do not care about anyone but themselves, and they are going to just continue spending us into oblivion. Thanks, guys. You're doing great. How does it feel knowing that your hard-earned tax dollars are going to pay the funeral expenses for an illegal immigrant? You've had your business and your livelihood shut down all year. And you couldn't even get a $600, maybe even a $2,000 check, yet you're going to use your taxpayer dollars to write a $7,000 check to an illegal immigrant for their funeral expenses. Cool, guys. Thanks so much. I'm sure that money couldn't go maybe to an American citizen. But again, I just hope that people understand that this is just example one of 50,000 how these people do not care about you. They don't care about you. They don't care about your money. They don't care about your livelihood. They don't care about you. But what absolutely blows my mind is how all of this information is so readily available to everybody else, yet they constantly support and endorse giving more power, more money, and more authority to this exact same system that literally drops hot brown in your cereal day in, day out, bankrupts you, steals your freedom, and then slaps you in the face with it. Good job, guys. Big Blue, let's vote for more of this stuff. Cool. I'm not going to make this only about the left or only about Democrats because Republicans spend insane as well. It's not about either of them. What it's about is smaller government. I don't know how many times we need to repeat this. The government should be smaller. We should be looking at what they spend money on, not giving them more money. All this stuff has to be paid for. Smaller government, less power, less authority, more freedom to all of us. And there would be not so many people that need $7,000 checks to pay for funeral expenses and the vast variety of other things. Guys, I just like, how many videos do we need to come out with? How obvious does it have to be before people realize this?